I've talked with a lot of people over the last little while about my trip that's coming up. Friends, family, people I've just met, people who I don't know at all, pretty much anyone who will listen actually. And a lot of the same questions keep on coming up about what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what all of this is about. I thought, hey, great reason for a video. Five of the most frequently asked questions that I get about the Gone John trip that's coming up. And so, here they are. Where are you going? Good question, actually. I mean, I know I have an itinerary for this trip and there's a whole list of countries that I want to go visit, but I'm always really hesitant to tell people exactly the path that I'm taking, which countries I'm going to, and what's all on my list. And it's not because I'm trying to be secretive. It's more I don't want to be embarrassed. See, every day as I kind of work on my plan, I look at the countries, I look at the dates, I look at the airlines and the flights and all that kind of stuff. And I also have a budget that I'm working with. So I want to make sure that I'm actually telling people places that I know I truly am going to. For example, just over 30 days from now, I'm going to Japan. I know that for sure because I actually have the plane ticket in hand and I have my accommodations all set. So I know that that's actually happening. But everything else is kind of a big question mark. So I'm really hesitant to tell people, oh, here's where I'm going. So it's going to be a surprise for you as much as it is for me as the trip goes along. There are places I really want to go check out, but I also know that some stuff's going to get crossed off the list along the way. Isn't that a long time to be on holidays? Well, in fact, you're right. That is a long time to be on holidays. I'm planning to be away for 8 months. Luckily, though, this is not a holiday. See, in a lot of the things I've read, people's biggest misconception about long-term travel is that every day's a party. Beach, woo! The truth is that there are those days that are going to feel like a holiday, and there should be those days that feel like a holiday, but see, just because you're traveling around the world doesn't mean that you're not going to have laundry to do, or groceries to buy, or things to clean. It's still got to get done, right? You're just doing it someplace else. Isn't it going to cost you a fortune? Funny you should ask that. I've been crunching my numbers pretty much every week, looking at the money that I have, the places I want to go, and the things that I want to do, and so, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money to take this trip. But how much money does it cost to live every day here in North America? You've got rent, you've got groceries, you've got insurance, you've got car payments, you've got gasoline to buy. It all adds up. Kind of costs a fortune, doesn't it? Nomadic Matt, who I really admire and respect, has talked a lot about this in his book, which I highly recommend. And he says that you got to think about long-term travel as buying an opportunity, buying an experience, buying a way of life that is just a little bit different from everybody else's, but ultimately shouldn't cost a ton. And he's right. Living every day does cost money. It's just moving it to a different location. You're not going to stay in hostels, are you? Well, actually, yes. That's a big part of saving money on a trip like this. Between movies about guys dismembering people inside of them, or thinking about the hostels that maybe our parents or grandparents backpacked through in Europe in the 1960s and 1970s, in North America, hostels get a pretty bad rap. The reality is that hostels today are not what we tend to think of hostels as being here in North America. In fact, they're the preferred way to travel for a lot of people, young and old, around many parts of the world. Plus, there's this whole new trend that's starting to emerge on the backpacking scene called flash packing. See, enter the flash packing hostels. These are like boutique hotels, but hostelized. So you got all the things that you would find in a traditional high-end hotel. Really good coffee, high-speed internet, beautiful bedrooms, all those kind of things. The difference, though, is that it's still a hostel. And I still might end up staying at some hotels as well along the way. There are a number of cheap hotel chains that exist out in the world, whether it's Easy Hotel, which is run by the EasyJet company, or Tune Hotels, which is run by AirAsia. A lot of these cheap hotels are popping up that provide really basic amenities, really clean rooms, and at a pretty decent price. What are you running away from? See, this is a pretty deep question. All my life, I've been running toward something. In high school, college, after college, everything had been geared toward my career. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. I think that I've had an amazing career in broadcasting so far, and I'm really appreciative of all the opportunities I've had along the way. But in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to travel the world and do the backpacking thing, and I never found the time or the courage along the way to make time for it. So when the opportunity presented itself this May, where I was presented with no real career opportunities in front of me, I went, gee, why don't I take the time to actually go do this thing that I've always wanted to do? Are you coming home? Yes, Mom, I'm coming home. Eventually. Now, home may be different than it was before. Maybe it'll be in a bigger city. Maybe it'll be someplace else. I really don't know. I'll go where the opportunities present themselves. But yes, I will settle down after this. This is not a life of living in airports. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go see the world, and I'm gonna take that opportunity. Thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go to the website gonejohn.com, where you'll find all the links to connect with me on social media.